Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we got a ton of wiring left to do on this Humvee. I really want to get it started. I don't know if that's gonna happen yet or not. I'm not still sure, but there's a lot of stuff going through. I've got some troubleshooting to do because wiring just hurts my brain. I hate doing it, and it has to be done. It needs to be done correctly. I don't want to burn the thing to the ground. So we got a ton of work to do. Let's get cracking on this thing. It's not gonna fix itself. Good work. You guys like the beard or no beard? Well, back to beard. So a lot of you guys been asking what kind of wheels did I get. So you guys know I love methods. I've had 4th set now, 5th? I don't know, something like that. I love them, always have. I think always will. Woo! I tell ya. Just so you guys know, I have opened these up already. But I don't know if they actually fit. I mean, they should. Be crazy. And I've had them for a while. You guys, a bunch of you guys have been asking in several different videos. Man, those look gorgeous. Whew. And they're light. Wow. That is what I'm talking about. Beautiful. All right, let's put them up here. I'll leave the link in the description, guys. But these are 17-inch methods, okay? 17 by 9. Let's check it out. Obviously, the lug pattern, 8 by 6.5 on a Humvee. Check it. Check it. Oh, man, they look good. Now, I didn't want this Humvee to stick out too much. Oh, dude, that's going to be perfect. It is going to be perfect. So I'm kind of doing the opposite of what I did with the other Humvee, where I had 20 by 12s. That 12-inch, it's going to stick out of the kind of the fender here on the hood, maybe 3 inches or so, maybe a little bit more, depending on your tires too. If you're putting, I'm going to put 1350s on here wide, so there are going to be 40, 1350, 17s. And I'm going to do the Maxxis again, the Razor MTs. I love those tires. I can't. I've had them on the other Humvee for 2 years, and they've done amazing. They've wore even, like, I like them. Just I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I just like them. I like them a lot. So this fits perfect. I just wanted to get in here and make sure the hub bore is good. Man, these look beautiful. Let me see how much clearance I got. I mean, they're 17, so they're bigger than the factory ones. My gosh, look how much, look at this. Look at all the pollen. It's crazy. You guys can probably see better and been there better than I can. Not really. Yeah, plenty of clearance. So we're money. Let's get a little test. This has been a lot. The battery is so dead. So dead. New batteries are going to be a must. All right, I got the engine to crank over like, not even like a quarter of a rotation. These batteries are shot. There's no way around it. Wish they weren't, because they're expensive. These are the 6LT batteries, the actual military Humvee batteries, and yeah, they're very expensive. But I'll be buying those in the future. But I just wanted to kind of test everything, and so far so good. It's doing what it needs to do. It just doesn't have enough power to crank. Yeah. This is nuts. Let me see if I can hold it here and watch that battery voltage. See, it just kills it. I wish I could just test it, but that's not my future until I buy some batteries. I've got another battery, the old Duramax batteries I pulled out of the donor truck. I have those, but they're different fitting, and no thanks. I need some posts. All right, got my check engine light, brake light installed. They're almost an inch. I couldn't find exactly an inch diameter because that's what these existing holes were behind for the old wait to start and the brake. So instead of wait to start, that's now check engine. My wait to start is right there, tiny little guy, but it fit in that hole perfect. Key's gonna go there, and took out the stereo for now just because I ended up having to take the dash off to get these on here. It's kind of a pain, but it's coming. Hey, I know a lot of you guys have told me not to do the push to start because of the fire hazard that they pose. And yeah, I mean, they're really cheap. I mean, a push to start kit's like 40 bucks. So not a lot goes into it. There's a lot of wires that go into it. So I think for now, just because this wiring, guys, I'm telling you right now, it is really difficult. It's hurting my brain. Yeah. And I'm not the best wire. I'll just go ahead and tell you that straight up. But I'm gonna do this key first. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill this hole out right here so I can get my actual key switch behind it, just so it'll fit. And if I wanna use the push to start, I can. Either way, the hole size isn't gonna matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drill that out, but I am gonna use the key for starters to start off with. I know it is safer, just like you guys said, so I'm listening. Let's drill this hole. All right, so I've got 6 wires for the back of the key. Got the Duramax computer, key ground, key positive voltage. I put an ignition, basically just to give a signal because I need some stuff over there to run it. So this is gonna, when the key's on the ignition, it's not really connected to anything yet on that side, but it will be. So there's those 3. Then I've got the lift pump and the starter solenoid. Those are all gonna go on here, and then we can mount the key. Hey, you guys might get a kick out of this. I couldn't help myself. It was like $4 on Amazon. Swap much? Get some. Humvee D-Max. It's pretty cheesy, but it's kind of funny. So guys, the wires are finally ran to that side. They're all hooked up except my trigger ignition wire on that side. And I did this off camera, but I re-welded the exhaust. Took me an entire day to get it right. I kept messing up. You know, I love on YouTube and everybody makes it look so easy, which it's cool seeing them make it look so easy, but it's not easy. You guys know. I mean, everything's like making this bend and these angles in the exhaust. It's just, and it's trial and error. Then I was too close to the oil filter. Then I had to move it. Then I had to move it took me a day just to do the exhaust all over again. Battery number 2 is here. O'Reilly. They seem to be the cheapest on these 6TL batteries anyway. But I'm having major problems, guys. I just went, let's see, moved this battery to the back. I got everything wired up with the key over here. Got all the wires over here. Went to turn it on. I did smell a little something from over there. I immediately undid the battery. Kind of went back through everything, made sure everything was good, put it all back up, hooked it back up. The lift up came on, and then it would not start. So then, retracing back everything again, and now I have no power to anything. I have no power to the lights, and they're totally separate. They're running right over here. I don't know if I burnt something up. It's really frustrating. Or these batteries just don't have a under load. I kind of questioned if this brand new battery was good, but I'm going to check it. I'm going to go ahead and get this one in here, put it in here, hook everything up, you know, double do it over here. So 12 volts from both. I don't want 24. I won't be running off 24. It'll be really frying something. I just hope I didn't damage anything, but let's get moving. Hope I didn't. And before we get started with that, check it out. Got my intake welded up by a fab shop here. Dude, arm and a leg for someone to weld aluminum in 2023. This is insane. Nobody does it. Like, nobody. I went to every shop I could think of. Called a bunch of dudes that I think would do it. Nobody could weld aluminum. So you know what they charged me for this? Dude, I don't even want to tell you. $150. 1 hour shop rate is what they charge. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Come on, guys, this took you 2 minutes. But hey, that's what they charge, is what they charge. I had to get it done. $150, because they just charge 1 hour's worth of work. So anyways, it's in there. They did a decent job. I mean, really good job. Because there was the bung that was kind of angled too. So yeah, looks good. Let me put the math in there and bolt it up and get this thing installed. Check this out. High beam switch. I almost forgot about this thing. So I went ahead and marked it right there. I'm gonna drill some holes, and this is gonna sit right there in the middle of the steering wheel. Like, whoosh. Man, this thing's dusty. Dude, is that hail? No, not yet. Okay guys, it's the next morning here, and I figured out why I had no power to anything on the Humvee. And I eventually was messing around with it last night, retracing some wires, looking for stuff that was frayed. And I did end up widening this hole right here out for the ground some more, just so it wouldn't get it. I felt like it had a little tension on it, because this battery is so large, it was pushing against the back and kind of pulling them a little bit. But I went through, And it ended up being this ground right here. This ground had pulled out. It just wasn't tight on my crimp. It had separated. I think when I put the battery in, that's when all these problems started. This rear part of the battery tray, I think it just pulled it out just enough, because I was checking it with a voltmeter over here on the block, and I was getting 12.8, and then all of a sudden I saw it drop to 5. I was like, well, that was weird. Then it went back to 12. I'm like, well, that should not be happening. So I went back. I just hooked up the lights again, and we now have lights everywhere in the Humvee again. Thank you. I've been I've been looking. I'm like, Lord, please help me. Help me. I don't know. I could not find it for the life of me, and it ended up being right here in front of my face. So I'm glad I went to sleep on it, came back out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to run through the grounds. It had to be a ground, because I did last night end up seeing the headlights flicker. So anytime, LEDs flicker like that, usually it's a ground problem. But they all work now. I'm going to go ahead and get the key switch hooked back up, the ECU, all that stuff, and we'll go from there and see if we can get some power to this thing. Well, this is YouTube worthy. I am, what time is it? Almost 4. I've been in this garage since 7 a.m. figuring out this. We figured out half of it, and it was a ground here. Just figured out the other ground. Do you guys know what this is right here? Yeah, I bet you do. So anyways, the block ground, actually it's from the head. It's from the head. It goes right, dude, you guys can't even see it. It's in there. Hang on. I gotta show you. Okay. See if I can zoom out here. Hang on. Well, no, I think I can do it. Okay. It goes right here on this bolt that I took off. Is where I had put it originally, but after I started the engine initially. So that ground is not a good, obviously I painted the frame, even though the threads are good on the inside. I'm assuming it's where I painted the frame. It was not making a good ground. I don't know whether to try to put it back in there. I think I'm going to put it in a different location, but that is the problem. The engine now cranks over. So check this out. Ugh, Noah, do you ever do anything? Ever? No. I wish I had your life. Anyways, I do have this ground that I protected when I was painting the Humvee. It goes right there. New little grounding strap that comes with it here. I could run it to here. That's what I'm probably going to do, and just see if it turns over from there. And if it doesn't do that, because it has this type of cable on it, I don't know whether to try to run this straight to the battery or keep it on the ground. You guys know the Humvee has bad grounds, but at least I chased this down. It took me all day to chase down, but we got it. Stand by. Let me run this. We'll crank this thing, hopefully. All right, everything's hooked back up. Let's see what we can do here. It is so humid. It just got done raining just a little bit ago. It is hot. Humid hot. Come on, lift pump. Push it. Boom. We got gauges. Nothing. What is going on here? Brand new batteries. Now put the charger on there. All right, we're barely getting a click, so it's just not voltage. Guys, I think this Humvee, the grounding block right here, I really cleaned it up, like a lot. but I also painted it. I wouldn't see how just painting this outside part would dictate any of the grounding issues. So I'm still having a couple grounding issues going on in the Humvee, and it won't crank over. I get the starter to move just so slightly, and then it makes like that almost clicking, and it's got voltage. I mean, these are brand spanking new batteries, and they test out fine. So I think it's a grounding issue, and I'm going on and on. I fixed the ground over here to the block, routed it up there. I end up tying it into the steering column ground, which runs over here. I think this might be an issue. I might just order a new one and just see, because I don't know what else to do. I'll keep going through this, try to find some grounding issues. It's definitely got them. Guys, so I found out that this thing's throwing 13 engine codes. Well, I'm kind of stupid sometimes. So I just undid this harness, and I had cut these because they did leave on, when they redid the harness, they did leave on the EGR and stuff. And I was confused why, because I told the guy I did not want that was all getting deleted. However, he left it on there. So I thought when I first removed that part of the, the whole EGR and all that stuff, I was like, oh, we don't need this. Cut. And I cut them. Well, guess what? That was the map sensor. Big deal. So it's probably going to go right in here somewhere. So I just ordered the sensor, a bung for it, and a new pigtail. So we'll wire that in as soon as it comes in. Yep, that would explain a whole lot of engine light issues. Yeah, for sure. I'm just glad I remembered where I cut them. I was like, if I'm going to have to take this harness apart, it's going to be a nightmare. But wasn't too bad. They were right there, right on top. So I've got them all figured out here. I looked them up on the internet, and then I'm looking. I'm like, dude, I have a Duramax sitting in the driveway. So I go out here. These 3 go to the map sensor. These 6 go to the intake heater. To be honest, guys, I didn't even know that was a thing. But I mean, I knew old Dodges had them. I've heard of them on diesels before, but I thought just the block heater, like right here where this plug is the only thing that gets heated. But it's not. There's a actual intake heater. I just went out in the truck, and sure enough, it's right there. Well, for one, I don't have that anymore. I threw it in the trash. Took it to a scrapyard. So it is throwing a code. It's one of the codes that's being thrown is an intake heater. I thought they would delete that when I sent it off to get programmed and all that stuff, but I don't know. If you guys have any insight on that, or how I can maybe mock one up or buy a new pipe or do something right there to get an intake heater, it kind of doesn't make sense. I mean, you really don't need one here in Georgia anyway, but I don't know. But it's throwing a code. But we'll get that as soon as the other stuff comes in. We'll wire it up, and I got a bung coming in, and obviously I just picked up the sensor. Check this out. Boom. New map sensor right there. Brand new, AC Delco. So when that comes in, we'll throw that on, and the map will be done. Not the math, the map will be done. So always something. Well, what I've had here is a really cheap piece of metal, or I should say cheap drawing. But it's gonna go right around the steering shaft right there, and then I will put my new boot on. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, guys. This is brand new, got it on eBay. Fits up great, but there's a small little gap, and it's only about like right here anyway. But I'm gonna get that just to cover up my junk over there. Rivet it on, and yeah, it'll be good to go for that. now that I've finally got this power steering line on there, we can go ahead and actually put some fluid in here. Yeah. See how much I spilled today. Guys, here's the very last door. They look amazing. They really, really do. All right, get in there. Where I got paint on the inside, you just gotta get in there. Tap, tap. There it goes. There we go. I'll go back and make sure everything's snug once it's done. Let's see here. I've got to adjust the catch, and we should be good to go. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. I got a lot of life-changing stuff that's happening to me here in the near future, so stay tuned for that. If I don't get a video out in the next couple weeks on the Humvee, just give me a second. Just give me a little bit of time. But yeah, don't run away on the Humvee. We're so close. We're getting there. We're getting there. But hopefully in the next one too, I can get the thing started and we get it cranked up and running and driving and all that stuff. But I've got a few things that I have to do in my own life, and I will get into that next video. So stay tuned for that. So till next time, take it easy, guys.